Hello and welcome to my channel. I've reached a new milestone. Check this out. Now a lot of you are looking at that wondering, what milestone is that? Well, guess what? This one's for my metric friends. Stick around. Welcome back and thanks for being here. My name is Scott, and yes, my next milestone. I thought I was going to cross 200,000 miles in 2023, but mathematically I'm not sure it's going to happen. So instead I'm sharing a metric milestone. I am on the verge of crossing 300,000 kilometers. I am at 186,411 miles. That's not quite 300,000 kilometers. The real number is 411.6. It's the longest minute of my life to wait for the next one to come. Once I get to 412, then I'll know that I'm past 300,000. All right, there we go. 300,000 kilometers. And wow, what can I tell you about 300,000 kilometers? Well, first, I'll say that I haven't been sharing a lot of content specific to the car in quite a while. If you've been following my channel, then you know that I've been sharing a lot of amateur radio, ham radio content. And I know a lot of you didn't sign up for that back in the early days because you were following the car for the mods, or my channel for the car mods. And I haven't really done any substantial mods since my IS-38 upgrade almost 2 years ago. And that was almost it. Once I put the IS-38 on the car, it did get a little louder. I decided that I didn't like the extra noise. So then I changed out my axle back exhaust to some different things by Bond Performance. And so I still have Bond's suitcase, his stealth suitcase on the car. And it's still a little louder than I would like. I guess I'm getting old. I could stand to go back to the IS-20 turbo to choke that exhaust down a little bit, and maybe even go back to the factory downpipe. Both of those items would choke the sound back a little bit, and I think I would like that a little bit better. But that's just what's going on with me as I get a little tired of the extra drone. Here as I accelerate to pass a vehicle here, you can hear the drone pickup. I'm probably going to do some sound modification so it's not quite so bad, but here, have a listen. I will do a small piece here with and without my sound processing. So here we go, have a listen. So it's not awful, it's just, I don't know, with the back seats gone and everything like that, all the sound is making it up here to the front of the car. Let me cover a few things. If this is your first time tuning in, first, welcome. I'm going to go down a list of just about everything that's gone wrong with the car in 300,000 kilometers. And the list is not terribly long, I don't think. It really depends on your standard. If you drive a Toyota, then yeah, this is going to seem like a really long list. But if you drive a Volkswagen or an Audi, or just about any German car, this might not be so bad. So here, let's check this out. Let's see. I am on my third battery, and that might seem like a lot to some of you, but I have quite an abusive electrical load on the car. The car is stuffed full of communications equipment. I used to have a subwoofer system in the car, and so I go through some battery, and now I have things sorted out to where I'm hoping my third battery will last longer than all the rest, because there's no more high current demands on my factory battery. Everything is coming off of a secondary battery that's back here under what used to be the passenger side rear seat. Check out a separate video on that if you're interested. So I think my third battery will last longer than just about everything else. It also had some broken glass, and that just kind of happens. That's not Volkswagen's fault. And I had a little bit of creaking in my driver's door. That one maybe is VW's fault. And it was really strange. It sounded like it was coming from back here, right by my head. It was kind of driving me nutty for a little bit, trying to figure out what was going on, loose trim panels, whatever, because I've popped panels in and out as I install things, and it turned out to be the door check bolt right up in the front of the door jamb. So once I torqued that down, all the creaking went away. All the noise that I thought was coming from back here disappeared. That was such a simple fix. The cabin blower, I've replaced the cabin blower twice, and that's a little disappointing. But the good news is the cabin blower is not expensive and it's very easy to replace. See a separate video on that. Don't ever take your car to the dealer to replace the cabin blower. It is so simple to do in your driveway in about 10 minutes, and that's not an exaggeration. Very, very easy. My injectors, that was my most substantial problem. I was on a road trip from Virginia to California. I was towing a trailer, and I've got a video series on that. I actually made that trip twice. So I was towing a trailer, and a lot of people blame the trailer on it, but it wasn't. It was just a thing. My number 3 injector failed, and it didn't fail to the point of leaving me stranded or anything. It just would not deliver higher flow rates. And so if I had a decent load on the car, which with a trailer that's going to happen more often, the injector couldn't keep up. And so I would get these I forget what they're called now, cylinder miss or something. Anyway, what was going on was the car would deactivate that cylinder under the worst of conditions, and that was problematic. I've got a whole video on how I resolved that, but long story short, I was able to complete my voyage. I drove 3,000 miles with that fault because all I had to do was stay out of the power, and the car drove just fine. So I got that back to Virginia and replaced all 4 injectors, so that upped the price a little bit, but to me it was worth it to keep them all matched. Whether or not they're matched, I don't know. They're the same age anyway. And while the mechanics were in there replacing the injectors, he spotted, finally, after quite a long time of wondering where I had a coolant leak, or at least I perceived one, never saw coolant, but finally he saw the evidence, and it was time to replace my water pump thermostat and thermostat housing, water pump housing, whatever all that part is in there. And so that, I was glad to finally have that resolved. And by the way, all of that happened, the injectors and the water pump, all this stuff was around 115,000 miles. That was, 20 years ago, that would have been the time to dispose the car. And I still had lots of people commenting on my video, time to get rid of your car, even at 93,000 miles. Get rid of the car before it falls apart. Well, here I am now with nearly double that, and the car is still driving just fine. So no problems with the injectors. In fact, on the very next trip, I towed a larger trailer, and I was still in the mountains. I think I might have even taken a more mountainous route back home, and the car completely redeemed itself. So nothing wrong with the injectors on any of that. Other problems, small dents or dings, that just kind of happens with flying debris and things hitting the car. I got a couple little dimples on the roof that I would like to get fixed, and I have a dent on the back rocker panel. I'm pretty sure I must have hit something, and that one, I don't know if I can get that one pushed out by a dent wizard or not. I'll have somebody look at it. I can probably, at the very least, have the look of it improved. It's not terrible. It's just there and a little annoying. But the PPF, it certainly had done its job. And so what happened was I got to this point, relationship with my detailer. I take the car in, it's got a ceramic coating on it, and I take it in once a year for maintenance. And my detailer has started doing paint protective film. So he gave me a very deep discount for the replacement of my PPF. When he took it off, when he took the old stuff off, we could see that very few of the scratches, that rock chips and everything like that had hit the old PPF, very, very little of it made it through the PPF and into the paint. So here is what the car looks like today. There's only a couple little bitty pieces where rock chips have made their way through. And whether you think that's excessive or not, I'm here to say, given the mileage, the fact that I parked the car outside, it's never been garaged, I think it looks fantastic, and I still do take the car to Volkswagen shows. Part of my shtick at VW shows as I do my communications exhibit, and it's usually a hit in one way or the other. Why, or hey, this is kind of cool, or hey, what do you do all of this for? And in 2023, I actually have made my rounds through some ham radio shows. They call them Hamventions or HamFest or Ham Expos. I have been to so far 3 of them, and I have 2 or 3 more left to do in 2023. So the car is a much bigger hit at Hamventions because at those places people know what they're looking at. So I'm still really enjoying the car. Yes, this is not the typical platform for setting up ham radio and communications exhibitions, and yes, I have completely blown the stealth look of this car. I am completely conspicuous now. Nothing is hidden anymore. I had asked the question a year or 2 ago, should I rename the channel? Because I might not be driving a GTI in the future. I'd hope to keep this car for 10 years, we'll see. But I certainly am not stealth anymore, so does it still apply? Should I change my name to something else? And most people says no, just run with what you got. So for now, I'm gonna leave it. I might change my branding or logos and things like that. I've got some ideas for logos. I think I am gonna be leaning a little bit more toward ham content, but that doesn't mean I'm going to be going away from the content on this car, because I am a mobile only operator, ham operator, and this is my only car, so everything is going to be in this car. So if you're a VW fan who likes technology, stick around. I might be still making some stuff for you. If you're a ham and showing up, I think I'm going to have more stuff for you. I never thought that this channel would become a ham channel, quote unquote ham channel, but the channel and my websites, they always go where my interests go. And since 2020, I've been going deeper and deeper into ham radio. And so I might be producing more ham content. All right, that's the long story for reaching the 300,000 kilometer mark. I might make a road trip later this year to Texas, and if I do that, then I will reach the 200,000 mile mark. But if I don't, then 200,000 miles will come next year early, and I'll do another milestone video at that point. Feel free to ask questions, make comments. I'm always happy to answer questions and reply to comments. As always, I appreciate you being here. I will see you next time. Take care.